scripture in Deuteronomy 24:1 about, or 24:1-2. Okay, about, a man leaving his wife because he's displeased with her. He finds uncleanliness in her, puts her away, and she marries another guy, or he gives her a bill of divorce or whatever. Marries another man, and if that man dies, even if he dies, if he puts her away, or if he dies, she can't go back to her old husband. Okay, and I've never gotten a straight answer as to why that is. Okay, can she get remarried again though? It never actually says, I don't think. Okay, here it is. When a man had taken a wife and married her, and it come to pass that she find no favor in his eyes, because he had found some uncleanliness in her, then let him write her a bill of divorcement, and give it in her hand, and send her out of his house. And when she is departed out of his house, she may go and be another man's wife. And if the latter husband hates her, hates, used a lot in this, and write her a bill of divorcement, and give it to her in her hand, and send her out of his house. Or if the latter husband dies, which took her to be his wife, her former husband, which sent her away, may not take her again to be his wife. After that she is defiled, for that is an abomination before the Lord, and thou shalt not cause the land of sin, which the Lord thy God given thee for an inheritance. Okay. So I'm not seeing anything about her getting remarried. So is it just that she can't go back to the former husband? And is this because he has caused her to be defiled? Is it because he's the one who's brought about this bad thing to happen to her? And see, that to me is the only thing that makes sense. He mistreated her, and so he doesn't have a loving heart and a regard, and if he takes her to bed, he could get her pregnant, she could have babies. This is bad energy for the woman. It's not healthy, because she's sleeping with a man who doesn't love her, and could be growing a family with a man who hates her. So I guess I could kind of understand that, but the way it's been interpreted, it's like, oh, the woman, she's a dirty woman, nobody touch her. Okay, that's just great. I mean, and it's, at least from my understanding, this isn't a woman who's committed adultery, and if she did during this time, when this scripture was written, well, I guess she would have been stoned to death. How would she be alive if that were the case? Uncleanliness. Like, there's something about her that's not, maybe she's flirting with men, maybe, there's just something about her that's not ladylike, and he doesn't like it. And at the same time, is that justification for putting a woman away? I would think not, and maybe that's the reason why she's allowed to get remarried in the first place. And so going back to the other guy wouldn't be too kosher, because he was a bad husband. He should have been a little bit more merciful and, mentored her. He is her husband. He could tell her what to do. She's supposed to be submissive to him. So I just want to see what everybody's input is on that. And something else that I noticed, there's a website I found, and unfortunately I can't find it now, but it was a woman who wrote a blog on this particular scripture, and she did some research and said that she found doubt there is some wife swapping nonsense going on during that time. Okay, well, if that's the case, and I haven't researched it enough to confirm whether or not that's really accurate or not, but if that is the case, well, that would make perfect sense. Can't go back to the other husband because he does not have righteous intentions with that woman. So it's for her safety. That's the only thing I can think of. So that's all I wanted to talk about. I have to go. It's late. Good night. Peace and blessings.